Hello everyone, this is Recap Revelations. Today we're entering the fascinating world of the film Spaceballs. Warning, fresh spoilers ahead. Hold on tight, keep an eye out for the exciting adventure, and enjoy the ride. The space story opens with the mother spacecraft of the evil Spaceballs, wicked Colonel Sanders, and another navigator in the ship discovers planet Druidia in eye contact. Dark Helmet enters the spaceship at that moment with Horror marching among the soldiers, lifting the helmet cover under the pretext that he cannot breathe. Colonel Sanders shares a Dark Helmet in taking over the air on the star Druidia by kidnapping Princess Vespa and getting the code to the star's air shield in order to get the necessary air and save their star. Meanwhile, on the wonderful Druidic planet, King Roland, Princess Vespa, and the amazing robotic bridesmaid Matrix prepare to walk down the wedding aisle. Princess Vespa is very hesitant at her wedding, revealing to her father that she dislikes her intended sleepy prince at all, but King Roland sadly announces that he is the last prince in the galaxy and that there is no escape from marrying him. The princess headed with the prince escapes during the dramatic wedding ceremony moments, taking off in a luxurious spaceship along with Matrix out of the planet Druidia, while her father and the sleepy prince yawns down indifferently. At the same time, Lone Star is a hero for hire, receiving a sharp message along with his friend Barf. Mr. Pizza the Hut threatens to repay the debt he has incurred by $1,000,000 space dollars, otherwise he will become a walking meal. Princess Vespa crosses the gates of Star Druidia and receives a mock moral preaching about the escape and harm to the kingdom's honor, but ignores and declares that she is happy and does not regret. Meanwhile, on the Spaceball planet, President Scroob plans to capture Princess Vespa in accordance with plans. While she quickly approaches their spaceship, he informs a Dark Helmet that he must catch the princess alive. From the evil Space Sphere spaceship, warning shots are fired at the princess, and her father rushes to call Lone Star and calls for help to save his daughter. Lone Star takes advantage of the pressure that Vespa's father is under and asks for $1,000,000 space dollars for the dangerous mission, getting what he wants in a blink of an eye. While Lone Star gets a description of the new Mercedes that ran away with her and how important it is for him to save it on that occasion. Lone Star and Barf almost fold as soon as they see where they've gone. The Spaceballs suck the princess's spaceship into them, but Lone Star manages to take courage and bombard the spacecraft's radar with raspberry jam. Dark Helmet that receives an alert for the radar activity tastes the raspberry jam and knows for sure that only Lone Star will do so. Barf introduces himself to the girls and quickly comes to pick them up before they are captured and explains to them that her father hired them to save them. A return in the Barf spaceship brings and the princess and a very heavy load of matching luggage by the princess, while Lone Star declares to the princess to dispose of them on the first occasion and receives a firm reply from her that is unambiguous and a request for matching royal treatment. Lone Star leaves the scene quickly while the spaceship is captured by a Dark Helmet, but to his surprise discovers an empty spaceship. Lone Star switches to a runaway hyperactive speed and quickly disappears, and a Dark Helmet follows him, moving to a much higher ridiculous speed and therefore manages to pass them easily, but barely manages to stop the speed while he did not wear the seatbelt at all, and at the emergency stop he flies straight to the control panel. Fuel surprisingly runs out and Lone Star makes a forced landing on a planet close to the princess's dismay. The princess is instructed to take only essential baggage, but does not resist temptation and takes all possible luggage while everyone lags behind her and carries around in frustration. Lone Star angrily discovers that the princess was carrying a huge industrial hairdryer at his own expense, confronts her about the matter and moves on with a much lighter weight. The Spaceballs, using the film's videotape, cleverly locate the whereabouts of Lone Star and the gang in Vega's moon and plan to capture them. At a night driveway, Lone Star lends his coat to the princess, shows her where Star of Druidia is, and tells her of a pendant he received at birth that does not know its meaning. Lone Star tries to figure out why she ran away from reality, while the princess firmly convinces herself that she does not need love, but is closer and closer to him and yearns for the touch. Lone Star is ready to kiss and make love, but encounters a loud siren of Dot's virgin alarm that deprives him of the long-awaited moment, and seeks a quick report on what he managed to touch the princess, sending the princess back to bed, and Lone Star shamelessly calls as a sex pervert. In the blazing sun, they walk through the desert one by one, but quickly collapse and faint from lack of food and fluids. Kind dwarves come to save the gang, water them, and take them home to their home temple. In the temple, they meet Yogurt, a strange and impressive great magician known throughout the universe and the forces of Schwartz, and also a dealer in the film's advertising products simultaneously. Yogurt understands Lone Star's pendant trade but does not reveal to him at the moment, and continues to train him to believe in the Schwartz's power. While he is training and flattening the leg completely in a moment of error, the same Yogurt quickly corrects. A dark helmet impersonates the princess father. She falls in the trash, and together with Doc, they kidnap the princess and take off. Lone Star is slightly frustrated that he missed the princess, gets fuel, and a fortune cookie from Yogurt in case he is hungry, but he must open it before eating it. Yogurt gives Lone Star the rare Schwartz ring and receives best wishes. Dark Helmet threatens King Roland that the plastic surgeon will return the princess nose to the previous position while she screams her soul. He is forced to hand over the code to the Star's air shield afterwards. Lone Star and Barf disguise themselves as soldiers and enter the enemy's prison facility in order to save the girls. They discover the princess' awful mood, and a sad Dot is next to her, trying to fight the exit, but are caught by Colonel Sanders, who reveals that he caught the doubles in the film rather than them. Lone Star momentarily gives the princess the submachine gun, and as soon as someone hits her hair, she sprays them without missing anyone, receiving Rambo compliments from Dot. Spaceballs turn the spacecraft into a giant robotic that transforms into a giant Megamaid with an even larger vacuum cleaner in order to pump the air of a Druidia, and Lone Star realizes how the air will be sucked out of the star. The air almost ends to be drawn from Druidia, while King Roland stops breathing and the trees are dislodged, and the vacuum bag is almost full. Lone Star plans to reverse the pumping action and destroy the evil assistant, but the way is not clear. Barf mentions Yogurt's ring, and with its help he manages the magic power to perform the opposite action and transfer from pumping to ejecting and returning the air at the right time, and King Roland returns to breathe. Lone Star penetrates through the Megamaid ear silently and with an infrared scanner, and begins to search for a self-destructive mechanism in the spacecraft. He quickly and easily overcomes two guards, but a second before pressing the mechanism is preceded by a dark helmet that catches him on hot. A terrifying laser sword fight breaks out between Lone Star and a dark helmet, and they fight bravely, but a dark helmet breaks the rules and with a friendly handshake quickly steals his ring and throws it in the sewer. Dark Helmet starts shooting Lone Star constantly, and Lone Star hears Yogurt calling him to use the force of the Schwartz. Although the ring is not with him, the Schwartz is in him, and the ring is just a toy. Using a simple mirror, he retrieves the laser beam of Dark Helmet, sending it off the ledge to press the spacecraft's self-destructive button. 3 minutes into the self-destruction of the spacecraft announced by Colonel Sanders, and the chaos at its peak, chaos in the ship, the escape chambers fill up with the wrong personas, while the commanders fail to hitch a ride out in any situation. Lone Star manages to navigate his way out of the spaceship, and the giant maid explodes into fragments in a fierce explosion, while the gang detonates with cries of joy. Upon entering the planet Druidia, Barf and Lone Star discover that Pizza the Hutt ate himself to death in the backseat of his car. And Barf immediately thinks of the million from the king they will receive, while Lone Star misses face slightly. Lone Star takes the princess back into her father's arms and the sleepy prince and takes off. At her remarriage, the princess reveals to her surprise that Lone Star did not take the million, but only $248 to cover fuel expenses. At the same time as Barf is hungry and left without the money, Lone Star is ready to open the fortune cookie of Yogurt for him and discovers that Lone Star's pendant belongs to a royal chain, and he is a prince qualified for all intents and purposes. Lone Star returns proud to Druidia, this time as a true prince, during the renewed marriage ceremony, proposes marriage at lightning speed and receives a positive answer just as quickly as the princess's addition. In the final scene, the priest lost patience, because no one has married yet, and in his shortest version they are answered positively and kiss warmly, while Dot breaks up with the virgin alarm, and Barf shed a tear. The newly married Winnebago takes off into the depths of space. Spaceballs is an absolute comedic gem that effortlessly blends sci-fi parody with uproarious humor. This cult classic, directed by Mel Brooks, is a laugh-out-loud adventure that cleverly satirizes iconic space epics. The film's witty dialogue, memorable characters, and clever sight gags make it a timeless comedy that continues to tickle the funny bones of audiences across generations. With its hilarious take on space opera tropes, Spaceballs proves to be an intergalactic joyride that leaves you with a smile from ear to ear. If you're a fan of irreverent humor and iconic parodies, buckle up for a side-splitting journey into the ludicrous world of Spaceballs. If you enjoyed this recap from Recap Revelations, be sure to subscribe for a continuous stream of similar videos. Your support means the world to us, so don't forget to leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks a million for tuning in.